Hey guys, welcome back to Maelstrom Gaming Studios. I'm Craig, and today we have got some exciting news. The Tyranid 9th Edition Codex is here, sort of. It's here, in my hands. Can't you see it? So we had what appears to be a playtester codex was leaked, not entirely in full, but a lot in full, specifically the rules portion. And we're gonna go over some of that. What we're gonna do is I have got a notepad here. I have literally just taken brief bullet points on every section of the codex just to kind of give you some understanding. This is a very quick, hey, this is what's coming type of video. And then in the future, following videos, maybe even this Friday, we will start to dive into those in a much more in-depth sort of video. Again, so this is just here the rundown of what we know as a generic point of view. Look forward to future videos. If you do want to look forward to future videos, please hit that little subscribe button. Stay up to date on all of our content here. We are going to strive to be the best channel to cover Tyranid content here. The new 9th edition Codex. We will do very much the in-depth analysis. We'll eventually get back to our datasheet deep dives like we did earlier for the 8th edition Codex and much, much more. So with all that, and if you do want to help support our adventures into the 9th edition Codex, do consider becoming a member. Click that little join button down below. If you are on Apple, I don't think you see it on a mobile device, so you have to do it from a Windows or a actual computer, not just like an Apple phone or whatever. The ad revenue is great, but you members, thank you. Members allow us to do this the way we do. So with all that out of the way, let's dive into all of the stuff we know so far about the 9th edition Codex. So I've got my notepad. Maybe I will have some slides for you guys to see while I'm going through this. Maybe some bullet points, some pictures. Don't know yet. Again, this is rushed. I just want to get the generic points out there just so you guys know what's coming. And then in the comments, let me know what you want to see in depth. Do you want to see a full 2-hour in-depth review of the Codex when we get it? Do you want me to go piece by piece? You know, let's look at warlord traits, let's look at relics, let's look at individual data sheets. Obviously we'll do that. We got stratagems and all sorts of good stuff. So let me know what you guys would like to see in the comments, and I will look at those and definitely go from there when making these next videos. So first, let's talk about the models, the data sheets themselves. It seems like every model has gotten durability upgrades as well as point increases. So mainly some examples is almost everything has gotten improved armor save. Almost everything. Termagants, Hormagaunts are now a 5-up armor save, which is insane. All of the big bugs, all of the bugs on 120mm base, even the all of the 120mm base bugs, minus the Trigon and Molochs, are now toughness 8 with a 2-up save. The Trigon, Molochs, Flying Hive Tyrant, and Carnifexes are now toughness 7 with a 3-up save. Carnifexes, they do have a 2-up save, so keep that in mind. Point increases, like I said, it seemed like everything went up in points. Take this all with a grain of salt. This is a playtester codex. Some things could change, and I really hope there's one specific data sheet that does change. You know what, let's just talk about it right now. Old One Eye in the playtester codex is twice as many points as a standard Carnifex and worse, in my opinion. So hopefully Old One Eye is not finalized. If he is, sad Old One Eye fans like myself, I was hoping for him to be great. But that's why I think this is not finalized, and we can't take everything as gospel just yet. But yeah, everything some other crazy thing, wounds. Most things also gained wounds, like the Tervagon and the Tyranofex, 2 that I was really looking forward to see, are now a whopping 17 wounds at toughness 8 and a 2-up save. That is insane. Yes, they gained the 2-up save, but 17 wounds, and there's more to it. But again, I just want to go over model side. Everything seems to have been given a pretty significant durability buff. Now we have Synaptic Link is different and the same. So the way the synaptic link chaining is exactly the same. However, there are now hive mind imperatives, I believe is the technical term, which is replacing what synaptic links were. They are once per game abilities, but you have one per type of synapse creature, like you did the old synaptic links. They are free, you don't have to pay for them, and they now activate army-wide bonuses. So in a rough state, you say Tyranid warriors have their special one, which is 6s to hit in melee generate an additional hit. None of them are the same for what they were as synaptic links. They are all different and they're all army-wide. That's all I'm going to say. We will probably do a whole video on those to make sure we get everything in depth. But it's an interesting change. Let's go over the secondaries. That's the next thing that I have covered. We have 3 options, technically only 2 new ones because one of them is what it was in chapter approved most recently. They are okay. Maybe there's the same one that we already had is, There's another one which seems like it could be a good one. It takes 3 turns to get 12 points. So it might be a doable one. And the last one is very niche. I'd say gimmicky. And I'm not really sure how you could even max it out unless your opponent brings like 12 characters or something. I don't know. We'll touch on them. Just for now, I wouldn't look forward to the Tyranid secondaries, unfortunately. Then we'll go on to, quickly, the Relics and Warlord traits. There's a lot in there. We do have the Stratagems to give multiple Warlord traits to multiple characters, or give Warlord traits to non-Warlord characters. So that's great. We have the Relic Stratagem to give multiple non-Warlords relics. They are cheaper than they were because now we're in a 9th edition Codex. And then actually talking about the Warlord traits and relics, all of them seem fun. They all seem, now some of the Warlord traits you're like, but all the relics really seem cool. You've got ones that give your Warlord +2 to advance and charge. You've got the Relic Heavy Venom Cannon is a 3-shot, strength 12, AP -5, 5 damage gun, which is wicked. You got the Sides of Tyranid, which are still in there. They grant lots of extra attacks. They are big damage, high AP, big strength. There's one more that stuck out, which was the Young Girl factor. Now you get to pick instead of random, so that could help. It's still only fight phase, but again, a lot of the relics specifically and the Warlord traits are good. So I'm looking forward to that. Psychic powers is another one. This is a very small portion of our Codex now, it seems like. All of them are good. A lot of them have stayed the same, so we still have Catalyst, we still have Psychic Scream, we still have Onslaught, we still have Paroxysm, the Horror, and then there's a new one that replaced Dominion. Generally speaking, they've all stayed the same, but if they have changed, they have changed for the better, and a lot better, in my opinion. Onslaught, identical. Catalyst, identical, except now if you put Catalyst on a Titan, it only goes off on 6s for the Titan. I get it, it's pretty crazy to have 5-up Feel No Pain on a Titan, but that is what that is. Overall, I'm very happy with the relics. It seems like our casting is even more powerful in terms of how much we can cast, how easy it is to cast. So I'm happy with those ones. I wish we had an extra psychic tree, but we don't, so we'll make do with this. Adaptive Physiology. This is part, right now I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed. They are paid for point upgrades. We do not know if you can take multiple of them, if you can take only one of them, who can take them. Anything is just, all we've seen from the playtester Codex is a list of the 8 of them. 8 of them? 6 of them? 8 of them? And their rules and how much they cost. The rules seem fine. Again, like we said, they have changed. They're not really at all what they were before. Thermic Symbiosis has changed, but it's still there. Now it just grants a 4 Binvone save to a model. So I'm assuming it's a model, a monster. Stick that on a Tyrannofex, that could be wicked. Stick it on a Tervagon, that could be wicked. If you can, again, we don't know. Some of the other ones just, I don't know. I looked at them, I glanced through them, like I don't know how often I would actually use those in and of itself. Now, when we dive into it more in depth, maybe we'll learn more about it. But right now, that Adaptive Physiologies is the low light for me of this codex. But they don't cost command points now, so that's a plus. We will then go on to the stratagems. We have a lot of stratagems, and this is an interesting portion. So currently, with our 8th edition codex, I would say Tyranids have potentially the largest list of stratagems we have access to, especially if you are playing Leviathan Crusher Stampede. We have some 40 or 50 stratagems we have access to, which is stupid. It's stupid how many of those that there are. But we'd also say that we had the most, we also had some of the best. Some of the ones fighting again on any unit, doubling or increasing damage on any of our shooting twice with an infantry, rerolling all failed wound rolls, double moving. All of those things were very, very powerful, and it's practically one of the only reasons Tyranids stayed competitive. Our data sheets are crap for the most part, but our stratagems are really good. So what this does, to some people's maybe disappointment, others say, I'm okay with it, I understand the balance. I would say it is a big tone down. Our top 10 stratagems, five stratagems, sliced, gone, or heavily nerfed. Our bottom 5, sliced, gone, or heavily buffed. We still have a lot of them, but there seems to be all good options. There aren't any I look through and like, why would I ever do that? Most of them are still in here. It'll be curious to see how it works with the High Fleet Leviathan supplement. I'm assuming the Leviathan portion of the supplement is still good and legal to use, but we'll have to hear from GW officially. Same thing with Crusher Stampede. We'll have to see officially where that stands. 2 big ones that I thought were awesome that stayed was Voracious Appetite. Completely unchanged, 1 CP, reroll failed wound rolls for a monster. Very happy with that one. That was probably my most used stratagem in 8th edition. So I'm happy, and 9th edition technically. So I'm happy that one stays. Overrun basically is the exact same one. Also a very good utility stratagem. That one has stayed, except it is now just a normal move, so you can no longer advance on top of it. Understandable, probably saw that change coming, but happy that one is there. Some other ones are regen, so you know, it used to be pay 2 CP to regen D3 wounds on a monster. Nope, it is 1 CP now. Thank you. There's some Adrenaline Surge now just gives +1 attack to the unit if they have adrenal glands, which is big. It does cost 2 CP if there's more than 15 in the unit, I believe, but you can do it to monsters as well, so that's fine. We could talk on those. Any other stratagems I want to talk about though? Ooh, our Death Frenzy, another one that was, you know, meh, fight on death, but you have to fight at lowest bracket, is now changed to fight on death at the highest bracket. So that is a very good change. We lost Single-Minded Annihilation. We lost, actually that's the biggest one we lost. That's just gone. Nothing to replace it. The last big portion I want to cover in this video quickly are the high fleets. I think while I said adaptive physiologies are the biggest, I don't know, disappointment, high fleets are probably the biggest glow up in tandem with the individual data sheets themselves. It's tough to say which one is better, but right now from just looking, I am more excited about the high fleets than I am of the dash sheets. Both dash sheets are going to be awesome, and everything's got a big 9th edition glow up. These high fleets seem cool. So the way it works now is we don't have custom high fleets anymore, but all of our main high fleets are customizable. So it comes in a 2-part. So you have your high fleet. Your high fleet has a 2-part high fleet trait. You get an extra warlord trait, psychic power, and Relic with that. So the two parts for the world trait, or for the the Hive Fleet adaptation. Part 1 is fixed. You cannot change it the way it is. Part 2 is flexible. It has something built in, or we have, at the end of all the Hive Fleets, we have a table. We have 3 tables: hunt, feed, and lurk. You know, our old instinctive behaviors. Those are back, but it's not at all the same. Hunt, feed, and lurk all have, I believe it is roughly 5 traits among them. Maybe 3 to 5 traits among each table. Each Hive Fleet has access to 2 of those 3 tables, and that bonus trait can be swapped out for any one of those from the 2 tables. I will try and put some examples up on the board because I did not write all of them down. The combinations are significant with everything you can do. I haven't even tried to dive in and see which ones are the most powerful, but in terms of looking at the true Hive Fleets themselves, all of them seem good. If I had to pick 1 or 2 to stand out, Leviathan seems very good, which basically gives your whole army mini transhuman, which is awesome. And then the Kraken adds insane amount of speed to your army, more than it was before. Behemoth is good. Gorgon has seen a really nice glow up. And then the other part, I would say Hydra. If I had to pick one, Hydra is still good. It adds a lot of speed to your army. The Relics Stratagems, those seem fun. If I had to pick though, one being on the least side of competitive, Hydra would be the one. However, where it was before, where you have Leviathan all the way out here, and then you had, you know, Kronos and Kraken, and then Behemoth, Gorgon, Jormungandr, and Hydra, it is now all tucked in here. So maybe Leviathan is up here, and maybe Hydra is right here, and all the other ones are in between. I don't want to discourage any Hydra players or Hydra fans. I think your Hive Fleet trait is still going to be fun and useful, unlike it arguably was before. It's just, at initial impressions, I'd say maybe won't be seen in all the tournament lists. So that's it. That is the rough rundown. Again, take all of this with some more salt. We saw with our last rumor video that roughly 75% of that came true. There were about 25% that was just not true. Understand where they maybe got some of the rumors. Maybe it was mistranslation, or, you know, you're playing telephone. Things just didn't quite translate properly that way. But none of the rumors were horribly far off. That would be the biggest thing I have. So take it all with a grain of salt. Hopefully things change. Like I said, the old One Eye seems oddly weak for what his point value is and how he compares to a standard Carnifex. One other special rule that I think is beautiful for the Tyranids is that Neurothropes, Broodlords, and Tyranid Primes can all be taken as a free non-designated slot. So a Neurothrope can be taken as a free slot or an HQ if you have a unit of Zoanthropes. A Tyranid Prime can be taken as a free slot or an HQ if you have a unit of Warriors. And a Broodlord can be taken as a free slot or an HQ if you have a unit of Gene Stealers. So that is all of it that I have right now. Swarmlord, not the same. He is not going to be the same. He is not auto-included in anyone's army right now. Is he an absolute monster? Yes, but he is for a totally different reason now. I don't think many models can go toe-to-toe with him these days, especially if he can still go in a standard Crusher Stampede. That would be disgusting. That's it. I'm going to keep the rambling. Again, put down in the comments what you want me to cover. Do you want me to just take each section day by day and cover all of it? Do you want me to do a full depth review on it? That would probably take me 2+ hours to do, at least of recording time. Or you don't care, you're here for the Tyranid content. And if you are here for the content and what we want to say the best Tyranid content here on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button and join us for what we have is this new journey into 9th edition Codex for the Tyranids. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios.